A question that many people had after Thursday's significant United States telecom outage that disrupted hundreds of thousands of users was what to do when they couldn't use their cell phones.
All throughout the...
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
Of course. Well, first off, I want to talk about the possible causes here for what could have led for this to happen, because at this point, AT&T has not said what they believe caused this nationwide outage. What are the possible, causes that are being looked into?
Well, the key word you just said is nationwide. Usually you see this sometimes in a local area based upon service in Miami or Chicago or somewhere in that instance. But in this case, it's nationwide. So there's two suspects that could be in play. One, we have an overloading of the system. You can't hand off calls, and there's an issue inside the wireless network that AT&T is working off of. When they're putting out 5G, what the issue is right now, the infrastructure is overloaded. When you get that overloaded capacity, you have issues. Basically, think of it like a bunch of cars on the highway. The more cars you put on the highway, you slow down, then you come to a stop, and then nobody can move. The other possibility, which I hope it isn't, but when you have this kind of major outage across the country, it's a possibility of a cyber attack on the actual wireless network. And with 5G, because you're spreading that network farther and farther, you have more exposure, and that allows culprits to get in that side of that network.
So, a potential cyber attack? That's alarming. I thought our country had a great infrastructure in our cell phone services and internet. We're only posing a question and not giving you an alarm that it was a cyber attack, but it is something to think about. Let's get some insight into what's been happening with potential cyber attacks. Leave a comment and like this video.
Chinese police are investigating hundreds of files leaked online last week. They purport to show Beijing's government agencies carrying out large-scale cyber attacks against foreign governments, companies, and more. The hundreds of files, images, and chats posted online are from a Chinese state-linked hacking group called iSun, the office of which is seen in this video. The company was hired to break into the websites of firms across the world and exploit what hackers claim to be vulnerabilities in companies' software systems. I want to bring in now Charles Clancy. He is a chief technology officer of MITRE, a nonprofit company that studies national security issues. So, Charles, you testified on Capitol Hill earlier this month about the threat that China poses to U.S. infrastructure, and you predicted a large-scale cyber attack within 3 years. Do you believe that this attack is already underway?
I think over the last decade, we've seen dramatic increase in Chinese cyber attacks against the United States. But to be clear, really the pattern of the last decade has been hacking into U.S. companies, U.S. government agencies, and research institutions, really to steal information. I think what we're seeing, though, particularly with China and their cyber program, is a shift from just hacking with the goal of stealing information to hacking with the goal of being able to exploit and destroy infrastructure.
And it's highly unusual for a leak of this nature to occur in China. Talk to us about its significance.
Yeah, I think a leak like this is rare in any country, including China. Certainly, the autocratic regime that we see in China is something that would limit people feeling comfortable doing an attack, a leak like this. I think that it clearly was done by a disgruntled insider, I think is the working theory, although we don't quite know yet. And it certainly provides a lot of information about the inner workings of.
What do you think? Was the telecom outage just an outage or a cyber attack? Feel free to share this video and watch another video on our channel. Thanks for watching.